If Iran wants to be treated like a normal country, let it act like a normal country.
I have repeatedly said that I would rather have no deal than a bad deal. But if we're successful in negotiating, then in fact this will be the best deal possible to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon. Nothing else comes close.
All right, you be the judge. Did Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu just make a far better case to nix a nuke deal with Iran than President Obama just did to make one with Iran? Welcome, everybody. I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is your world. And did Bibi just hit it out of the park? Did he just put that Iran deal out to pasture? To historian Doug Wead, who says, at the very least, the president's going to have a much tougher sell now. Doug, explain.
Oh, well, this is not some talking head on Fox like me. This is the Prime Minister of Israel, and he's made quite an accusation. He's saying that this administration is kicking the can down the road. And unfortunately, that resonates with us. We've heard that before. That's what Benghazi was all about. No, this wasn't a terrorist attack. There will be no terrorist attack on our watch. There will be no nuclear war on our watch. But 10 years from now, when we're not here, when Hillary's not here, they can have all the nukes they want. That's the suggestion, the idea that's raised here. That's very alarming. This isn't Obamacare. This is survival of a people.
Now, there were a number of Democrats who didn't attend this speech today. We're going to talk to one of them. But their argument was that this was all just politics and that there was no place for this, certainly in the well of the House. What do you say?
Oh, I think that when we talk about nuclear weapons, that is so serious. We can't mess around with that. It's not about can you keep your own doctor. We're talking about a country and a regime that has not recognized diplomatic protocol. Idi Amin recognized diplomatic protocol. Pol Pot recognized diplomatic protocol. This regime seized our embassy, seized our people, made them hostages. Now we're going to say in 10 years it's inevitable they're going to have nuclear weapons. They'll have as many as they want in 10 years, as long as it's not going to happen in my administration. I think that's serious.
Now, the president, of course, is not saying that, as you know, Doug, but the inference certainly from Benjamin Netanyahu is that he might be, with the best of intentions, on striking a deal with Iran, but that's what would happen. You agree with that?
Yes, he's saying that's what could happen. You know, this was a very historic day, Neil. There's been 100 of these speeches of heads of state before joint sessions of Congress. There's been nothing quite like this. I'd go back to Douglas MacArthur's speech to find one that has had the political impact that this will have. But what transcends everything to me is the fact that we're talking not about a can that's being kicked down the road, but the possibility of the use of nuclear weapons that's being kicked down the road. That needs to be discussed.
You know, you mentioned MacArthur. He had already been relieved of his services by Harry Truman. Many argue that, you know, the Prime Minister is in the battle of his life and might be a couple of weeks from reaching the same fate. What do you think?
Well, yeah, MacArthur was fired, I believe it was April 11th. He came back here, spoke before joint session of Congress on April 19th. It was a nail in the coffin for Harry Truman, if you just want to talk politics, because his approval ratings dropped to 22%.
That's true.
The next January, he lost in New Hampshire, and he withdrew finally to run for re-election. I think this is more than politics. Again, when you talk about nuclear weapons, there's more at stake here.
Okay. Doug, always good seeing you, my friend. And he was there for the MacArthur speech, by the way. Kidding. Doug Wead. All right, to those Democrats